And we have this package that, saying that basically the condominium or the association board has approved the idea, yet needs to see the final architectural plans before the work commences.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
My name is Philip F. Luckner, Philip F. Luckner Architects, and I'm representing the Bashmaris in their petition to the commission this morning in making the modifications as stated within your documents. All of the items that are being proposed as part of this petition are all on the east side of the building. I know that there was language, I saw that letter for the first time this morning, and I know there's a language referring back to elements that are actually on the south side of the building, but they are not part of this petition at this time. So I didn't want to confuse the issues. We are just petitioning for the renovations on the east side of the building. The building is located, as shown at 2665 North Ocean. The east side obviously being the view of the ocean, and thus what is driving the desire of the owners to increase not only the visibility out of their unit, which is just on the second floor of this building, but also to create additional access onto the balcony that now exists. It's relatively simple. This is the existing elevation right here. It now has two sets of a pair of swing doors. It has this divided window on it, and in this area here is where the proposed new door would be. The new elevation is proposing that single piece of glass in this location. That's the master bedroom. It increases the view out onto the ocean, which makes sense from our perspective. The door, again, is for access out of the master bedroom onto the balcony, and then the increasing of the glass area as part of sliding glass doors to, again, increase the access out onto the balcony and to increase the visual access out onto the ocean. It has been set up so that the existing shutters on the lower elevation, or the lower part of the elevation underneath what we are proposing, and that the shutters on the upper portion would line up so that the glass would be contained within those shutters, thus creating the symmetry within the central element. The door is, again, a single 8-foot by 3-foot swing door to gain access out onto the balcony, and again, the increase of the glass there out of the master bedroom to increase the visual. Yes.
And that's an additional balcony. It looks like going across where the new windows could go in. Is there something that goes?
Yes, there's a balcony there that then would equal the balcony on this side. Yeah.
But there's no balcony
There.
Maybe you could actually bring that a little closer.
You're saying the balcony on the window side of the master bedroom?
Yeah,
No, there's no balcony, it's just changing the windows.
but it,
Oh, they're showing one, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
but it's just a show.
Yeah, it's just for show. It's just
Can you see it?
flat. It's not,
Maybe show that.
It's just-
it's just
Yeah,
the
this should all be in
the
the package.
architectural
This is nothing more than
Yeah,
rating.
Yes, exactly.
This is what it was in the packet?
Yes, exactly what was in the packet.
Sorry if I talk. I don't know, I'm allowed to talk.
You're last time. Were you sworn in?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
May I start? I'm not following too well, I apologize. And it's because I'm concentrating on this letter that we just received. I guess we received this yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. I want to know, I have lost track of it, these three pieces of paper, I'm sorry, these two pieces of paper, excluding your memo, did they come to us yesterday?
I think they were in my machine the day before, but I got them yesterday, yes.
Okay, you
September 22nd.
Yes.
All right.
Meeting,
So you
Tuesday.
recognize them being here yesterday.
Yes.
What is your understanding of this picture? Is that the existing, or is that what the association was presented to be reviewed?
From what, it was all put together and it came with this letter. And I assume that this picture that is not in color was what was presented to the board for approval.
And that which is being proposed to us today
It's different.
is materially, in my opinion, materially
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And therein, to me, is a problem, and I don't know if it's a problem for us,
Why-
association, or,
Why is it a problem? They're just saying that they're going to, anything that this board approves is going to have to be approved by them.
and I guess we have the ability to say, approve this and then send it to them for review and potential denial? Is that what you're saying?
Everything, if it is approved, it would be subject to final approval by the condominium association.
So that would be as a condition.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
But Bill, what you're saying is what was presented when you reviewed this, what we're being presented with is different than what you reviewed.
No,
Mm.
no, I'm
No.
not saying that. I'm
Okay.
saying that
Sorry.
the understanding that I had of the proposed which is being presented had been presented to the board and they approved it. But it turns out now that that which was presented to them is different
It's
than what
different.
we have.
Okay.
And I do believe that we can focus on the proposed, and if appropriate, you make a condition of approval, subject to the approval of the HOA.
By their board, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
board.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I-
now
I-
we're focusing on that which you are proposing.
Thank you,
Or
yes,
at
because
least
I
I am
think
now.
that this
Thank
is
you.
a concern of somebody's, but it is not part of this proposal. So it would have to go back to the board, the condominium association, for approval if at any time Mr. Basmaji decided to do these improvements to his unit.
Okay. So what you're
Yeah.
saying is that,
you
well,
normally require
this
that
picture is
this
different
approval
than that
come in
picture.
prior.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but
this,
it's-
this window is gonna be a
And now
one
we don't have it.
pane window, and it's gonna have that.
I think it's more
This-
concerned on the lower picture,
But he's-
right?
You said that the balcony,
So
you're not
this
gonna
would
do
be
the balcony, this is not.
That is
change
correct.
from what you normally do.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that it's only on this lower picture that is the concern of whoever wrote the letter here, because this is exactly as we proposed. I mean, that, yeah.
What about the picture you
It
have
doesn't
over
look
there?
like.
Except that the
That's-
door,
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
door isn't there on that picture.
And the window,
The window is not one,
represented as a
yeah.
single.
But it's gotta be approved by the board of Villa d'Este anyway.
Right.
Well, can you put the board that you have?
You're the owner, aren't you?
Yeah, but I was there, so
Okay,
I'm
you-
gonna swear
can
me
you
in,
sworn in?
and I'll swear, and
Yeah,
I'll,
you
and all that.
What novel concept.
Oh, thank you, Rita.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
That'll be God. I was there. What we showed you, this, what we had asked the board to approve.
Would you come over here,
Yeah.
to stand, Mike?
Okay. What we asked before we bought the property, they approved what you see here, is they approved all of this, okay? Except what wasn't on the approval was the door that goes on the side, that was on the side exactly like the downstairs, from the bedroom. That was not, we had not, and I don't remember if I asked for that, okay? But it's the minor thing, but the front, the glazing was exactly as it stands. What we also asked on the side windows, which you don't see. No, this is the neighbor, the second neighbor on the same level as us. She changed her windows to this, and we asked that, and they accepted it. I did not ask for that today. So I don't know what she's asking for, but these pictures is what we showed the board when they signed the approval, they saw that. Now, it's normal that we submit architectural drawings to execute this. And they're allowed to, because we're gonna touch their structure. So that's the review they're asking for. But this they've seen, that's what they signed.
May-
Can we just base our, on our application, on this petition on these drawings?
Well,
These pictures?
I think
Because
that
that's
we
a,
can.
that's the homeowners
But
association.
to clarify, it looks like there are at least 3 differences in what they saw
Mhm.
than what is being proposed. Mr. Randolph is suggesting that we can just analyze this and add a condition of approval that it must be subject to the approval of the HOA.
Perfect.
I just want to make sure that what the town has advertised
Okay,
is what the property owners were noticed on. Because if, for instance, the property owner, if there's a property owner in the condominium that's objecting to this, and they think that there's some other plan coming before you, it wouldn't be fair to go forward with this hearing if they were not noticed of what you're hearing today. But presumably, they got the notice. All the property owners and the condo association would have gotten notice of what you're discussing today and had the opportunity to appear here.
And that's what brought this forward,
Okay.
this
Despite the fact that the
letter.
picture doesn't bear relevance to this.
So if we approve this, subject to it being approved by the condo association, and then it goes to the condo association says, well, we want you to change this.
Then it's got to come
Then
back.
it's gotta come back.
And that's why the normal process of the town is for an applicant to certify to the town that this has been approved by the condo association, so we're not going through a process where we're reviewing something that the condo association hasn't approved yet. So the step you will be taking today, if you make this a condition, is different than what normally happens. Bill usually requires that the condo association has approved it prior to your reviewing it.
We do have a letter to that effect that came in with the application,
Okay,
and it said, the first sentence, the first paragraph said that they do approve it. Then there's a sentence after that that says, subject to the approval, final approval of the condo association. And there was nothing attached to that at that time. And we had a phone call from somebody when they got my notice. And they said that they were entitled to have it as they originally approved it. And so I asked them to send me the material that would have been attached to that, and they did, but it didn't pertain to design, it pertained to the
ownership.
actual ownership of the property. So, that's why,
well, it seems to me under the circumstances, if they had a statement that they have seen this and that it's been approved by them, there seems to be some confusion between that application and what's happened now. But I believe that it would be appropriate for you to go forward and consider this and then make it a condition of approval, if you approve it, that it be ultimately approved by the condo association.
Okay.
And that's based upon my understanding that anybody that had an opportunity, they had an opportunity to review these plans that are before you today.
they did, that's what brought forth this.
All right.
Just let me read for the record what was included with the original application. To whom it may concern, the request from the current owners of Villa d'Este Apartment D for window/door renovations to the apartment has been approved by the VDE board. Second sentence, please see attached for details of this approval. And those details were not attached. I mean, there was nothing attached to it. And so when I asked for it, I got the certificate of approval of the purchase, not of renovations, but for the purchase.
Okay.
And then the person who had called then sent this email with this picture that I gave you this morning. We didn't have this until
Okay.
yesterday.
Thank you.
That's it.
So is it possible for us to approve it subject to the final approval of the?
Yes, you'll review it pursuant to your guidelines.
Right.
If for some reason the condo association doesn't approve it, then it's simply not approved,
And
and
it's-
they would have to come back here with
Right.
whatever they
With
approve.
whatever changes they need to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
It just get confuses me because the proposed east elevation has this balcony, which there really, isn't really gonna be there.
It's just a facade, it's the same grill, it's the same railing as the railing, but no balcony. It's just.
You can't step out onto that balcony because it's
But
only
then
this
the
wide.
letter that we got
Doesn't
2
have,
days ago
Yeah,
doesn't
doesn't
have it.
show.
Yeah,
Right.
we're not making any decisions on that. We're just working on the
I don't know,
information.
but the proposal shows something that isn't there, right?
Correct.
Cause there's no, I just,
right.
Yeah.
I'm
And it's
not
not a
sure.
balcony.
Okay,
Right, but that can be defined by the condominium group.
Mhm.
When this gets presented to the condominium group, it's gonna have that railing there. And if somebody says, oh no, I totally object to that railing, it's gonna be thrown out.
At which point it'll come back to us.
And then you'll
I'll
make
be right
whatever
back here in front of you.
modifications need be, but,
Let me just say.
I'm just trying to get the process
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
I agree.
Rather than have you have to go all the way back to the condominium, get their approval, then come back here, which is gonna take a lot more time.
We believe we have the appropriate approval from the board, so that we will not need to come back here, but if something intercedes along the path, we'll certainly come back and abide.
Just for the record, I'd like to say I think there are 3 differences. One is the railing that you just referred to. Second is the entrance door onto the usable balcony. And third is the undivided portion of that, of the window.
Yep.
Those are 3 differences from what the board is seeing. Whether that's material to them or not, I don't know.
And your intent is, well, because we have the drawing,
Right.
which doesn't show the door going out to the balcony, but are you proposing the balcony as, the railing as it exists here, to put it over on this side, or you're not gonna have that in there?
We, as architecturally, it should be. Okay, now if they say no, we won't put it.
Okay.
But but architecturally it makes more sense
You
because
want
it's
it.
lined up. Yes, I
You
want
want
it, I
it.
want it. But if they say no, we prefer the window to the railing. And the window they've already approved because it's already on they saw all these pictures.
Okay,
So,
all right, so you want the railing.
I want the railing, but if they say no, we're taking
That's
it out.
balanced.
I think that we're fine, I think we're fine with either.
Yeah.
Can we approve it with either with the railing or without, so that there's no coming back to us?
As long as it was, yes, I think so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Who wants to attack this one?
I just,
I'll make a motion, I'll make a motion
What-
that we,
I'd like you to include in the motion that that verification should be certified and brought to town hall for our records as well.
by the Villadesti board.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
it doesn't need to come back to this.
Just if they-
Well,
That-
just certification that it was
certification.
approved,
That's right.
Yeah.
so that we are all covered and everybody's
Yeah.
covered.
So what is it you want, Bill, a certified
I want a copy of the certification
copy of the
They have-
certification?
From
reviewed
From the board.
From the board.
from the board,
Yeah.
and a copy attached to that which they approved, the drawing.
Mhm.
Okay, good, all right.
I don't think anybody has any issues with the door or the window without the
Balcony or the
dividers,
railing.
or with the balcony for that matter. It's just it was inconsistency in what was presented.
And we're all okay with
Yeah.
either the railing or not the railing?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we'll make a motion to recommend approval of the level 2 architectural site plan based on the finding that the proposed door and window replacement seems to be compatible with existing architectural style of other similar structures located in Villadesti and upon the certification from the Villa d'Este board that these have been approved in their final state with pictures.
That's good.
I will second that.
Mr. Rubini,
Aye.
Mr. Roche,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Acting Chairman Kent.
Aye. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
We still got to put forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seven minutes.
But I've got one point I'd like to raise in this application. So if someone can raise it, remind it. It says here, permitted floor area.
No, you better,
Which I
you
think
should
we
state
have-
that publicly. Go ahead.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
On the record.
Sorry. It's just I need to make one point, I've got to go, but I've got.
Yeah,
one point
but you
to
make
raise.
that rather than talking
Okay,
to
that's
somebody.
fine.
No, I'm sure.
Okay.
Sure, you can do it right
You can do
now.
it right now, Malcolm.
You can
Malcolm,
Yeah.
you can do it right now.
Okay, I'd like to make a point in the next application that the information note states the permitted floor area is 5,447 square feet. In the proposed floor area, it's 5,588, including the special exemption. The special exemption is 118 feet. If you take 118 feet off the 558, you get 5470, which is 23 square feet over. Sorry for being pedantic, but it is.
5%.
It's 141.
Yeah. So basically, it's more square footage that they're applying for than the permitted floor area.
All right.
Did
Thank
you
you
note
very
that
much.
too?
No, I didn't note it, but no, I just wrote it.
But
Okay,
the,
we got
Thank
it.
you.
but the more square footage has been advertised. What we're looking for is less than has been advertised. What they're looking for
Basically,
approval on is,
basically, just get the numbers don't jump.
okay.
That's more than they're allowed to.
Yeah, it's more than it's allowed.
No trouble.
Wait, we're gonna figure that out.
The Fifth Act is always a tough one.
Yeah.
Who's been sworn in?
Oh,
We get
yeah.
sworn in and then
Both of
Guys,
you.
I might see you in October, but as I say, I have
Swear
to
to
say
tell
no,
the truth,
my
whole truth,
trust.
nothing but the truth, so help you
Right,
God.
guys.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, man. Cheers.
See you.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Okay, so we have three gentlemen, correct? Okay, thank you very much. Richard Jones with Richard Jones Architecture, Delray Beach. We appreciate the opportunity to present 3180 Polo Drive to you. And I want to talk through those numbers. Somebody mentioned something about square footages. I didn't quite get that. But if you recall, some of you may have been here when the 3140 house was approved, which was directly adjacent
Last meeting.
2 meetings ago.
2 meetings ago, directly adjacent to that to the south. And this is the 3180 house. Again, a little bit different layout. The house is situated facing north on the lot. It came in a little bit different format architecturally and went through 2 to 3 rounds of back and forth with the town manager and the town planner, Mr. Minor. And in the format that you're seeing here, the 2-story Georgian style home, the town planner and the town manager agreed that all of the issues were met and that the project conformed with the city zoning code. Dave Bacher, landscape architect, is also here. It's a very classic style home, 2-story central massing and with projected 1-story wings and very classical architecture, meeting all the requirements for setbacks and certain features for small balconies required to break down the scale and mass of a 2-story home for the code requirements. And we also have the landscape plan in colored landscape plan and the landscape plan in elevation showing the appropriate screening. So I would like to, unless Dave, would you like to speak? If not, we can answer any questions.
If you have any
anyone
questions, I'll be glad to answer.
And I do want to talk about that square footage though, so I'm not.
All right, yeah, this focus then on that, and the what we are looking at is page SP1, Richard. Uh, um, As it relates to first the mathematics on the net column,
Right.
they seem to track okay to me.
The 54,
Adding
47.
them up, oh, just talking about mathematics.
Right.
But the comment that was made is that the amount of the special exemption for
The 118?
118 feet does not qualify.
The 118?
The 118 does not qualify, based on this chart. So now what I would suggest is for you to articulate to us where the open under roof areas are and what the square footage is.
Okay.
The chart, this chart indicates you have 261 square foot
The two,
unenclosed, is that correct?
yes, that's correct. The 261
Now,
unenclosed is part of the 54, 47.
okay. Understood. But if you were to, the code would only allow 87 feet of additional square footage.
No, the code allows, I believe the code allows, is it 30% of the total?
So what is, just say 30%.
Okay. The
of that.
total, on this particular project, the total covered porch area is 261 plus 118 for a
Okay.
total of 379 is the
Understood.
total covered area. So what we do is we take 30% of that
Now, show
and
me,
make that the special exemption.
show me on A 1.1 where those open areas are and what
Okay.
the square footage is.
Because I'm still not quite understanding the math that is being mentioned,
Okay.
so I'd like to go over that again.
But I guess what I'm saying is I think you're right, but the presentation
Well, we have a
isn't
covered-
quite clear.
We have a covered porch.
Tell me,
Here.
covered, okay, what's the square footage of the covered porch?
The covered porch is 350 plus or minus square feet.
Three,
This here.
151.1, that's
okay,
from your dimensions.
let's just say
Yeah.
whatever that mathematics
350,
is.
is it three, would it be 359? Something like that?
It's 359 and change.
35 feet 11, 35 feet 11 times 10.
That's right. Now, what is the other open area under roof?
That would be the difference between 379 and the covered terrace on the back, which is dimensioned, because the only two areas are the covered terrace on the back and this little,
Okay,
covered area at the front door.
at the entrance,
Mhm.
okay. I think that the square footage he's suggesting, he could have could have gone to 123 additional square foot,
Mhm.
and he is going 118.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, we total all of it together, and then we put the 2/3 underneath the square footage chart, or the 70%, and then the 30% of it becomes the special exemption. And that's how we got the 118, which is, I believe, 30% of 371.
Something like that. Yes. I have no problems with the application as presented in regards to the special exemption.
We've reconciled Malcolm's concern.
I believe we have.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Malcolm just was talking about the proposed floor area being 5,588. And if you subtract 5,447, you get 141 square feet. Part of which is under that exemption, I gather, and part of which is in room area interior to the house. And it was just a difference of whether we were talking 118 or 141 square feet.
And where did the the 5588 number come from? Because I don't see.
From your proposal?
It's
Well, it's not on our plan. So
five,
is
five,
that,
6, 5.
is that,
No,
was that handwritten in on the application?
Oh, it
Maybe
may
by
have been.
Seaside Builders?
let's see if I
The
can.
application is 5565.
But I have 5588
That's
Yeah.
what I have.
So
on my,
five,
on my staff
right,
report.
and 5565 is what our plan showed. So I'm not quite sure where the 5588 is coming from, other than that 65, if it's written pretty
Okay.
quickly by hand, might look like an 88.
That's-
No, it's just an error on my part. It's simplify it, that's my error. And the proposed square footage is 5,565
That's
square
correct,
foot.
which
Is that
is-
correct?
Right, which is actually
Okay.
less than, I guess, what you advertised on your,
That's
right.
correct.
so, okay,
Okay.
So again, I think we're okay.
thank you.
All right. Oh, or
Well,
you wanna go proceed with this?
Oh, yeah, why don't we have the presentation?
We're pretty much, that concludes our presentation. We're happy to answer any questions you may have.
And did you have anything to add to the,
If you'd like me to go through the landscape plan, I'll be glad to.
yeah, why don't we go ahead and get that, then we can comment about it.
Yeah. You know what, Richard, could I ask you to go through the proposed architectural style of the home and the actual elevations for us, even though we started off with the square footage? I think the
Okay.
board needs to, and we have to have record of that which you are proposing and the elements in the design.
That's fine.
And can you also go through the elements that were discussed in the preliminary application meetings too, that were modified?
The,
Not every single one, but just.
the main item in the preliminary application is the elevations were done in a Dutch colonial style with a Dutch parapet on the front elevation. And whereas, you know, we've designed houses in Gulfstream with parapets in the past, and there's a house with parapets in a similar fashion directly across the street from this house. The town planner did not feel that that particular exterior facade represented an approved Gulfstream style of architecture. And so we went back and the facade was redesigned to one of the approved styles, which was the Georgian style that you see here now. And again, it's a very classical style with symmetry on the front elevation. It has a center hall, if I could walk you through the floor plan. Ground floor plan has a center hall, an entry, and grand stair, with a flanked by a sitting room and a dining room. And it has a kitchen and living room and a covered terrace across the back, two-car garage, and a master suite down. And then upstairs, again, a center hall with a upstairs family room and 4 suites on the second floor. And when you look at the elevation, again, classic symmetry through the center with the entry portico and the flanking Juliet balconies, and then the 1-story wings to the sides. Looking at the site plan, color landscape plan, again, if we turn it this way, oriented with the elevation of the house, we again have symmetry on the site, a pool to the rear, and a circular drive in the front, heavy landscaping, a motor court coming off Polo for the 2-car garage, and then the rest of the property, landscape, green space, and other little details, walls and railings for pool enclosure.
Thank you.
Dave Bodker. As Rich said, the house is very symmetrical, and so is the landscape. If you can see by the elevations of the landscape, along Palm Way, which is the front of the house, we're showing a sculpted ficus hedge across the front of the property, openings where the circular drive exits onto Palm Way. At the entrance points, there's these details of the entrance walls. There's a 5-foot high column with a 30-inch high wall attached to it. That occurs at each one of these entrance points here. The ficus hedge is behind that, and then flanking each one of these driveways is coconut palms. Where the house breaks and goes to a second floor, there's a magnolia tree, and that's here and here. So when you enter from the circular drive from the road, your focus point is on these magnolia trees at the break of the house. Additionally, working with the architecture, behind the coconut palms that are shown flanking the driveways, there's a foxtail palm that frames the gable end of the entrance of the house. In front of the ficus hedge that kind of wraps around the property, the ficus hedge goes behind these palm trees and the little entrance walls, continues here. The same type of treatment is done on the Polo Drive side of the house with the little entrance walls. The planting at each one of these entry points is very similar in terms of the plant material and the tiering and so forth. And then, let's see, again, working with the symmetry, there's a purple trumpet tree here, here, and here in the center, so that when you look out the front door of the house on axis, there's a lignum vitae tree. It's a fairly rare tree, and we're getting the biggest one that is possibly to be found. The property where we abut the west property line here is heavily screened with fishtail palms, Montgomery palms here, where the end of the house would be seen from the adjacent property. So we have, I think, 16-foot high fishtail palms here, and then another 24-foot of double Montgomery palms here to block the view from the western property. The backyard is also symmetrical. These Alexander palms are in line with the columns of the residence. And then more magnolia trees again at the break of the house where it goes from 1-story to 2-story. Smaller flowering trees here and here to somewhat soften the 1-story portion of the house. When you look in from the Polo Drive entrance driveway to the garage, we have palm trees against the house and cutouts near the front of the garage. And there's a trellis over the garage doors where we're going to plant petria vine.
Terrific, thank you. Very nice. Any comments?
No, I think it looks good. Is this a spec house, or is this already owned?
No, there's an owner.
Oh, there is an owner.
This will be the in-laws of the 3140 homeowners
Okay.
who are Gulfstream residents now in Harborview, and they're going to move. Both this house and 3140 are projected to be built at the same time,
Right.
and so the Cassiopos and their children will be in the 3140 house, and then the in-laws, Jim's in-laws, Jennifer's parents, will be in the 3180 house. But they'll be two separate independent houses, and just, you know, just far enough away for comfort.
Yeah.
That's a matter of opinion. White tile, cement tile roof,
Yes.
and Benjamin Moore cloud, and
Mhm.
a light blue, I guess.
Yes. No, that's not blue. I believe that's a green, if you will, or whatever we submitted.
Polo blue.
Polo blue, but it's actually a deep,
Okay.
dark color.
Very good.
Any other comments from the board?
Were there any comments from neighbors?
No.
Rita? No?
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the special exception first, is that?
Yes.
Special exception to 118 square feet of covered unenclosed area that exceeds the maximum floor area ratio. You can do-
And we have to do it, yeah, individually, yes. In a second,
I'll second.
Rita?
Mr. Rubini.
Aye.
Mr. Roche.
Yes.
Acting Chairman Kent.
And a motion to recommend approval of a level 3 architectural site plan based on a finding. The proposed two-story, single-family, Georgian-style dwelling with attached two-car garage consisting of 5,565 square feet and a swimming pool meet the minimum intent of the design manual and applicable review standards with the following conditions. 1, prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy, the owner shall prepare and record a deed restriction which shall provide that all roof projection areas shall remain unenclosed as per approval of the special exception for as long as the structure is in existence or exceeds the maximum FAR. 2, electric service lines shall be buried. 3, any minor modifications in the landscape plan shall be submitted to the town manager for review and approval, and any major modifications shall be brought back to the ARPB for review and approval prior to commencement of landscape.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Rita?
Mr. Rubini.
Aye.
Mr. Roche.
Yes.
Acting Chairman Kent.
Aye. Thank you, Rita.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
gentlemen.
very much. That's it. Very
I was
nice.
wondering whether, the neighbors to the south were comfortable with probably in-laws, and I said, okay. I don't think I'll ask that question.
Okay.
Did it?
Rita, Bill, any items that we need to,
No items.
to address? Board members?
Yeah.
No? Good. And the public is all gone. I move they adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I
Yes,
tell you,
it's been a,
really nice job on this application. I can tell there was a bit of work that went into that.
And since you don't have an August, you have that law, and then there's so many things happening, you lose track of what you did.
yeah, it was a long haul between meetings.
Yeah, it's nice to have that break, but it takes you a little bit to get back in the groove.
To get back in the group, what, tell you, that was, anyway, yeah,
Thank you.
that was fantastic. Skip, thank you so much for
You're welcome.
keeping us on the straight and narrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that lot,
We need it.
was gonna be,
Yeah, we do.
a spec lot or something,
The one-
Spec house on it.